Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
Okay, good evening, folks. We've had the pages taken off us again, guys. So yeah, this is getting hard, guys. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook under No Justice, Just Us. And we are on YouTube under Bob Dan. So, guys, yeah, we're just having to move it around. This is going to be hard to get this out. So if you come across this clip, hit the share button on it for me, we need to get these things out somehow or other. So we just got Cazz and Carla in the studio with us. They're just trying to share out. Now we've gone live. They're trying to get out to a couple of different streams, get it into some different groups and stuff. Because, yeah, we're up against it. We got, other than we're shadow there, we got one viewer on here. That's it. But, folks, what I want to start with, I'm just going to go straight into a film clip at the moment. And, yeah, I'll see you in 60 seconds. So I'm just going to throw this in. Cazz will just hit this from the background.
Push me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first. You pushed me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first. Come on, mate. Change sides. I'm team here.
Winning the hearts and minds of people.
What's going on here?
Serving and protecting. This is how you serve and protect. Serve and protect, guys.
Oh, there, Cazz. Okay, guys. This lady's name's Pam. All right. She's a lady that's down there all the time with us, okay? She's been doing the hard yards. She's an older lady. She's a grandmother. She's a mother. If you're grandmother, I'm going to play the rest of this clip now. It might be a different clip to what I had earlier, but you'll certainly see what's going on here. But if this was your grandmother or your mother getting treated like this, do you think you might be in Canberra supporting her, standing up for her, not having these armed mercenaries just do what you're about to see, which is just drag an old lady across the dirt in the wet, who cares, to throw her in a paddy wagon and lock her up? This was last night, folks. Night before that, an Indigenous lady, I think she was, locked up because she had some parking fines or something, just come straight in. So, you know, I watched Russian Cossack a minute ago about, you know, how they're picking on us guys. You know what they're doing, right? The Russians just exposed them in court, saying that they have a task force to take down or look at and watch the freedom movement. What a joke. Why does the freedom movement need an actual task force to watch it? We've never done anything wrong yet. The only people that have done wrong are these frigging idiots on the screen here. So, let's watch the rest of it, Caz. Get to Canberra, people. Look how many police are here, folks. That's only half of them you can see.
Oh, where's my mate, Brenton?
That bugle will be pretty annoying to him.
Move back. Just move back. Move back. Move him back. Just filming. Move him back.
Look at this, guys. People parking in a public parking spot, exercising their right. Big Donna. Big Donna causes all sorts of trouble. I wish we could mute the bugle for a minute, folks, but sorry, we can't.
Will we bring the truck down here? Or?
Thanks, really just strange.
So they take all their gear.
Boys. Back, please.
There's Donna. Donna's tough.
Get out of my face, mate. Where's that? Come on, sit back, please. I'm back, man. I'm nowhere near it, mate. I'm nowhere near it. Measure outside.
Look at this spot, folks. This is just for some protesters. Look at them all.
Get out of my face. So you're making me crash into your own members, you idiot. This is what you signed up for, dude, really?
So, guys, there's a lot of police
This
here
is serving and
moving
protecting.
property to protect pedophiles. Why are you interfering with our protests about pedophiles within the government? Why are you interfering with our protests in regards to pedophiles within our government? Why are you interfering with our protests exposing pedophiles within the government?
Well, he's a hungry little UC, isn't he?
Covering
I
up.
have a look. Wait till you see the smirk on one of them, you car. Bloody pedophile in top face.
Take the children out of their homes
This guy here.
to institutionalized organizations where 80% of those children are abused.
Have a look at
Remember
the
your
smirk.
part. Why smile, sir? Remember your part in pedophilia. You are playing a part in it. It makes you happy, does it? Hey, you guys have got.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to let you know.
I don't listen to terrorists.
We'll class them as camping and the cars will be removed.
Shut up,
Okay? We'll need you not to be sleeping in your cars tonight or camping here. Okay?
No one's camping here, Donna.
So removing him from a public car place. car park.
Donna, you've ordered assaults in the last few weeks. You got a 9-year-old girl pepper sprayed in the face, Donna.
You guys take orders from someone who can't even pass your own beak test. Wow. Really? Do you respect someone who can't even do what you can do? Wow.
That guy there in front of you now, right in the middle, he was smirking about it, mate.
Well, I think the last time Karen dragged her ass out for a gym was only if he was paying for dinner.
Great afternoon. How many tax dollars did it cost to remove a wardrobe? We could have got
Now
some
this is where they go. This is where they head over and arrest Pam now. Well, watch this, guys. I want people to see what these absolute friggin' paid mercenaries are up to.
So all of a sudden they've lost focus. They've delivered the message, get out of the car park, but now they're racing back up to the Parliament lawns.
Yep. And watch what happens, Carl.
Practically no one there.
Do we have a line as well? I want a line. I bet the police got
Yeah, we are. On this side.
Push it across, guys. Keep pulling
Who owns this property here? Who owns the food?
Could I grab my battery?
They're having a picnic on the lawns. You're allowed to do it.
Grab my battery and shit, would ya? Please.
Hannah. Those two, please come across the wall.
It's harassment.
Well, these are the people's lawns. I'd like to know under what rule. It'll be some parliamentary security rule, I'm sure, because those lawns are actually protected.
Enough. Get out of there.
All right, no worries. Don't tell me what to do, idiot.
Does it make you proud to cover up pedophilia? Are you all proud of yourselves? That you are a part of the cover up the
Look at
pedophilia?
this.
Are you proud of yourselves that you are a part of the cover up for pedophilia? I cannot hear you over my own voice.
Hey, if I have a turn on the ground when you pick that up.
Why are you covering up pedophilia in our government? Why?
Criminal Code Act 1995, federal.
Fuck you!
Section 83.4, interference with the political rights and
3
duties.
years in jail.
A person commits an offence if A, the person engages in conduct, okay, we've got police engaging in conduct over here, and the conduct involves the use of force or violence or intimidation or the making of threats of any kind. Making of threats around here. You got violence happening. Intimidation is happening right now, so yes.
Here it is now.
C, the conduct results in the interference with the exercise of performance in Australia by any other person of an Australian democratic or political right or duty. You have the political right to protest. You are interfering with the right to protest. Tick. C. D.
Armed thugs.
The right or duty arises under the constitutional law of the Commonwealth to create treaties that I know of that include the right to protest.
There's got to be 50 or more coppers.
Yeah. Watch what they do to Pam. Apparently she had a mirror and they deemed it a weapon.
He hit me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first. You pushed me first. He pushed me first. He pushed me first.
How do they sleep at night?
Oh, well, they just go back to their cell and plug in, don't they?
hearts and minds of people.
What's going on here?
Serving and protecting.
Look at this.
This is how you serve and protect. Serve and protect.
Watch this. Watch this. Imagine if that was your mother or your grandmother.
You serve and protect. Are you kidding?
Should be a shame.
Are you kidding?
Is that a one?
No, that'll probably do. Like,
It's difficult to watch, isn't it?
it's sick to watch. Are you fucking kidding yourself? You know, me and my wife have spent half a fucking day ringing police stations, getting the runaround to try and get us, you know, like, so we can actually drive a car on the road. We haven't got, you know, $10,000 worth of chopper above our head and 2 highway patrol cars. They were going to try it again today. I think the chopper was fucking busy. They couldn't get hold of it, so they left. I'm fucking speechless, guys. You guys, go for it. Yeah, I'm fucking over it.
Yeah, it's just very hard to watch. It's very difficult to watch. Like, I just, you know, it's, you know, like at the end of the day, though, this is our fault because they're our police. They're our police. We've allowed the situation to become so bad that they've turned into a bunch of this. You know, like they've turned them into a corporation. We let it go. We weren't there. We didn't stop it. You know, they're our police. They're there to serve us, and this is what they've become. It's just, it's terrible, you know. And I heard that in Melbourne, after they had shot the people who were protesting at the War Memorial, after they'd opened fire for them and cleared them, they went back to the station and had a barbecue. Like that's the mentality that we've got within our police at the moment. And I hope that's not true, but that's what I've been told. But is it true? I don't know. But that's what I was told. But this is, you know, this is what happens because our police and our rogue, because they are in fact a corporation. New South Wales Police, ACT Police, they've all been sold off. They're a private corporation. For profit, they're there to enforce the law of these corporate bodies that the government. Everything is completely and utterly lawless in this country. It's all legal, enforced legalism, and there's no law. And it's really difficult to watch that. Actually, I think I've spoken to that lady. She's a sweet little lady, and yeah, it's difficult to watch.
Okay, folks, we're trying to get this out to some channels, but at the moment, I don't even think we got anyone viewing this. They've got me that whacked, all right? So we're out on a brand new channel. We're out on YouTube and Twitter. But anyway, it's what we're up against, guys, okay? You know, I can't even get, like, you know, Dad said my viewership's gone from, like, anywhere from, like, 20, 25 up to 40,000 and probably sometimes a bit more, all right? Down to about like 5,000, 6,000 and then down to 2,500 and now down to like last night's show 770. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they are just caning me, man. Absolutely caning me. So that's where we are. Carl's dropped out. I think he's coming back in. But what else you got there, Caz? Did you have a couple to look at?
Yeah, we had some stuff that was actually very interesting happen. So what we've got next is we've got the let's have a look at the, maybe I'll put it in documents.
If anyone hasn't seen, there you go, seen Cossack's thing, all right, about feeling, there it is. It's on our I put it on our actual Telegram channel, guys, right? Yeah, the what is it? Great Southern Land Gathering. So it's on there, okay? You can get on there and see it.
All right, so that download hasn't worked, so I'll just have to go to the Telegram channel and pull it up. Okay. So yeah, so we also had we've also got the information about the biolabs. So let's have a look at that, shall we? I'll just
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That's what I mean, folks. We got to get our shit together here, man. Sorry for losing it there, but yeah, if that was my mother or grandmother, mate, how can people be sitting at home when they know that grandmothers are getting treated like that for trying to stick up for their grandkids, their future? Fuck, guys, let's think about it, eh? Let's get to Canberra. Let's back these freaking people up.
Yeah, no, I know. So, all right, that's not working either. Hang on. Might take me a minute to figure this.
Okay, the Ukraine one. I might see if I can flick it in my screen. I don't know what happens because I haven't had much of a go at Telegram.
Проекту Баргонза удалось выяснить, что одна из биолабораторий НАТО находилась непосредственно на территории этого государственного учреждения, которое было подвергнуто Министерству Украины.
Is it working now? Yeah.
Это лабораторный центр. Непосредственно 24 февраля, в день начала спецоперации.
You should be able to read it.
До этого, как минимум, неделя, может быть, даже больше.
Yeah, so this is evidence of the biolabs.
Yeah. They ran away, taking out heaps of test tubes and stuff like that, and they tried to burn the rest as they took off and ran. Yeah, go and hit it, Cazz, just to show you what is happening, folks.
И в срочном порядке отсюда вывозили все секретные документы, разные колбы, пробирки. Зайдем сейчас внутрь и попытаемся разобраться, что от всего этого осталось. Как рассказали местные жители, эту лабораторию подожгли сами сотрудники, или служба безопасности. Сразу же 24 февраля, как только было объявлено о начале спецоперации по денацификации Украины, вывозили отсюда огромное количество каких-то пробирок. Вот основную базу подожгли сами. Говорят, что здесь как раз проводились опыты на животных, в том числе на крысах. Все эти образцы, которые здесь были собраны, эвакуировали непосредственно Kyiv.
So it does look like what they've done, folks. They've took out what they had to get out. They've burnt out the areas, tried to burn out the areas containing the paperwork. But there's plenty of evidence left in here still. It's mad.
Какие конкретно разработки здесь производились?
Wait till we get upstairs.
Сказать достаточно сложно. Официальной и достоверной информации нет. Но тот факт, что Киев даже до начала штурма Мариуполя, то есть в самый первый день войны, отсюда эвакуировали исследования эти образцы, говорит, на мой взгляд.
This is one of the biolabs abandoned in Ukraine, Carl.
Это была приоритетной задачей.
Certain signs of forced entry there.
Well, yeah, they ran with what they could get out of there with. Because the Russians were going to take them out.
Well, and the Russians have obviously been through this too. So.
Yeah, that's right. So they've taken out the majority of stuff. There's still some evidence of stuff in it.
But just look at the machinery.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Are those centrifuges?
Wait till we get upstairs, Carl, and you see where they got the sniper boxes upstairs on the roof, mate, for protection and that. You'll take you up there in a minute.
I'm interested to learn what those machines are. Because, well...
Anyone speak Russian?
The concerning thing about this is that biolabs by definition, have got to have certain security measures on them. Like, for example, if they're carrying certain materials under a level 4 biolab, it needs to be so many feet under the ground with sealed off containment, so that if it escapes, then it will self-destruct. Like, there's no security.
Here's their security, Cazz. Look.
Были оборудованы огневые точки, вот наблюдательный пункт тут, пулеметчик находился.
Yeah, absolutely. Like pillboxes.
AK-47 security.
Вот еще одна точка. Вот пост, собственно говоря. Видно, что у него стрельба, третья, все.
God.
СВД. Ну а вот типа кухня.
Sitting right there in suburbia.
Yeah.
Мы готовили вот тоже. Еще один пост наблюдательный. Так.
Jeez.
Pretty mad, isn't it?
Пост.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen enough?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, no, the concerning thing about that is the as I said, that like they've like, I just find it really like mind blowing, because I know that I think it's a level 4. If they've got anything that's meant to be level 4 bioweapons or bioweapons research, that's meant to be something like so many meters under the ground or so many feet under the ground. It's meant to be sealed off, be airtight.
It has to be a pressurized environment, or a negative pressure environment. Yeah. So
yeah, that's right. But the purpose is so if something goes wrong, then the whole place is shut down and sealed off, so that
that's a Western rule you're talking about, Cazz. That's there's no reason to think that would be
that's obviously why they've done it in a Eastern Bloc country, because then they don't have to abide by the same things. But it's just quite no wonder the people of Ukraine were saying that they'd often get sick since they started. Like, people would get really sick and stuff like that. I reckon there's been stuff escaping all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that we're starting to see some of that vision come out. I know there is some footage claiming to be taken from Russian soldiers' body cams as they've been going through some of these facilities. That's available. Not much of it's been translated, I don't think. So, not that they understand or really know what it is that they're seeing, but I think that'll become clearer over the next day or two. Seems to be a lot of interesting things happening in America, in the last 24 hours. Seems to be ramping up a little bit now. Donald Trump, a lot more mentions of him. There's a lot more talk of him on the channels in Telegram. In fact, another one just popped up then. So, there's a bit going on in the background at the moment. And, of course, the latest news that I saw today, Vladimir Putin has cancer. He's going to put his spy mate master in to control the country. And then the next story was that the spies are going to assassinate Putin. He may not live through the surgery. So the deep state is certainly the stories.
The script writers are incredible in this movie, aren't they?
Unbelievable. So, I mean, I think we all saw the vision the other day of Putin having a meeting with that criminal that runs the UN, whose name I've forgotten, and his hand was shaking. His right hand was gripping the table, and it was shaking. And people saying, "Oh, he's got Parkinson's, or he's unwell, he's in pain, or he's what?" No, he was just really fucking angry.
Yeah,
he was just really angry. Maybe the guy in the UN suit got the idea. He's not playing games. So, is the world? I've been asked a lot today if the world's being pushed closer and closer to World War III. Of course it is. But with every, yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, but the exposure of it, or the waking up of the people to it, yes, we're getting pushed every day closer and closer to that. The rhetoric is ramping up, and it is drawing the attention of everyone on Earth. So what do you do when all the attention of Earth is sort of turned to one spot? Something big's going to happen. I'd be looking very closely. It might be a nuke. It might not be. It might be something else. So
it could be anything. But come Friday, we'll tell. Okay, Friday in America, folks. which will be our Saturday, I think. Yeah, which is the 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on. Well, today's the 4th, isn't it? May the 4th. So
okay, so it's our 5th tomorrow, which would make it the 5th
tomorrow.
on Friday. Sorry, in America. Yeah.
So yeah, got to be a bit particular about dates, because we've all been caught putting them out before. But there does seem to be a bit of chatter about that this week does seem to be important. And if you're ever a Q drop follower, there are definite references to this week.
And we're in Beltane as well, don't forget, so we're in the Luciferians' Beltane days, you know what I mean? They're 14 days of sacrifice. So, every door's open, every door's playable. It just depends on which way they want. It's like a pinball machine in the old days, Carl. It just depends on which way they want the ball to go, mate. But they got something coming.
I've been seeing pictures all day today of the Met Gala. Saw a lot of pictures of women who didn't look terribly happy to be there, who didn't have great beaming smiles on their faces, or it might have been because they were, in these absolutely ridiculous things that they couldn't walk in or sit down in or anything like that. But, I think the Met Gala for a long time has been used in this period, particularly to hide some of their sacrifices. So interesting to know what actually happened in and around those parties last night, I think.
Oh, there's shitloads going on, mate. I can tell you right now, there was children getting eaten. There was blood getting drunk. Because that's what they do in Beltane, mate. These guys are friggin' horrible. Now, we know exactly. If you're awake and you know what's going on, you know exactly what they're doing throughout this 14-day period, man. You friggin' know. And this is what we got to stop.
Because the White Hats know this is going on. Is there a chance that they've filmed this, that they've caught them, they've strung them out, they've got confessions, and this is going to form part of the Great Awakening that we hear about? I mean, confessions from the beautiful people we've just seen arriving on the red carpet at one of the events of the year globally, the Met Gala. All of a sudden, they're arrested inside for what they've done or what they're planning to do or what they've done previously. And we're getting confessions out of them. Is that a possibility? Does anybody think?
Well, Cazz, what were you and I talking about a bit earlier? Cazz, come in on this one, sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a war, isn't it? We don't know where we're at with it. We just know that these people are really evil, and I don't know.
But we've got other people disappearing. Cazz, was I having that conversation with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, we do. We have, it's who's not around is the issue. Like, there's a lot of people that where are all the people that are all the big mouths? They're just not around. Some of them are posting very creepy, very weird TikToks that make no sense for being such a big mouth in the past about political events or something going on. And they're not to be seen except they're posting weird things. Yeah. We don't know. It's very difficult for us to know because the CGI is so advanced that you can have somebody literally delivering a speech almost in front of people, and they don't know that it's almost holographic technology, or in some cases it is holographic technology. But the CGI is so advanced that you don't even know that all of the scenes could be completely and utterly fabricated. See, we don't know. We don't know if it was Nancy Pelosi that went to Ukraine. And she didn't go to Ukraine, by the way, because she only flew into Poland. So is Zelensky actually in Poland?
I think that's the inference. I saw a picture today off one of the Telegram channels. I want to say it was John McAfee's, which was her shaking the hand of Zelensky and sort of bowing forward at the time. But the tag to it was, those who know. So exactly. I went looking for the building they were sitting out in front or standing out in front of, and there is no government building, and it was like they'd met on a street in the middle of nowhere, right? And in the background, it's not just what they tell you're seeing in the picture, like we were talking about last night. You look into the background, and you would think with Schiff and Pelosi and a couple of other deep state Nazis there, all ready to shake his hand, he would be there in something a little better than his fatigues. But better than that, there is some fat joker behind him, and I'm not having a go at fat people because, hey, I am one. but there's a fat joker behind him who's just laughing for some reason. He might be a security guard. I'll put that in inverted commas. And then there's a set of steps that sort of go up back. And there are 4 or 5 people who are walking around up there, walking up and down those steps, not paying 1 ounce of notice to anything that was happening down there. Now, I can't confirm that building is in Poland, but I can confirm it's not a official building you would expect to find Zelensky at in Kyiv. So...
it might be where his coke dealer lives.
Yeah, I did tell you that. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I don't know if it's photoshopped or not, but I reckon, like, I don't know. I don't know
either, it looked pretty real.
It feeds on me, all right, and I'm not an ice addict, folks. Okay, so, but you know, we all get them. So yeah, believe none of what you hear.
I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know the difference between cocaine and baking soda if you had it just on a screen. But
yeah. But yeah, I've seen that
shot.
A
big pile of something there. Yeah, no. Got a lot to answer for.
Yeah, so where are we, guys? Where are we? You know, as an audience, and we've got none at the moment because we're not going out anywhere, I don't think. But anyway, we'll worry about that later when we start sharing it around. But yeah, you know, just where are we? Right. I'll leave it with you. I'm asking where are we and what we're going to do. Okay. Go, Carl.
Oh, I just thought that might be Telstra ringing up and saying we're going to reconnect you or give you a refund for the bad shit they've been doing lately. That's probably not likely, though, Caz. They'd have to be doing the same to me. I got shut down there before again. My modem, for some reason, just jams up when I seem to be talking to you guys. I think we spoke briefly earlier about some of the things that are happening in Australian politics at the moment. I've been trying to get on hold of a number of independents today to have a bit of a talk with them. I'll have a bit more coming up in the next few days on my channel with that. I'm really looking forward to hearing how they're dealing with the big job ahead of them at the moment. And we're into the last, 2-3 weeks, Caz. How are you hearing much about postal voting? I've been asked today whether or not we should be getting involved with postal voting and getting in early. I think that's a great idea, but as we discussed last night, maybe taking a photo of your vote before you put it in that envelope and sending it back is the way to go. But most of all, making sure that you are actually signing your AEC official postal vote and not something that either of the major parties have sent you, which looks like a postal vote, but isn't. But they will use it on your behalf if you don't do the right thing. Something we all have to be careful of, Caz. So what are you hearing about that? How can we make sure or guarantee people are going to do the right thing there?
Can I go in there first? I wouldn't trust these bastards if I actually hand-delivered my postal vote to the guy who was supposed to be doing the friggin' counting, man, at his front door with security guards all around, and in went my little vote, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't trust these friggin' guys with anything, man.
Sorry, Caz.
Had to get that in.
That's amazing that you would bring that up because I was just about our next item is actually 2,000 mules. Have you seen that, Carl?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to see the whole show. About to be released too, I think, isn't it, at the end of this week?
Yeah, it's actually free on Rumble, I think, for the next 24 hours. However, what's really... So just to brief our audience, what it's about is it's the security cameras who have picked up, somebody has traced 2,000 mules that went across counties and posted postal votes, thousands and thousands and thousands of postal votes. And they've actually got the security footage from the streets and seen them and from the businesses and associated. And so it's incredibly well documented. And I did pull up the short, but it's actually not the short. I've seen it's the... So I've got that to share. Do we want to have a look at this for a moment? I've got the wrong one, but it's the 2,000 mules before and after with street interviews.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, it will be interesting. So,
well, I remember seeing the trailer.
Yeah, we're going to interview Justin, okay? I'm going to see 2,000 Mules with my 2 friends, and one of them, Shane. Shane's a believer.
Hello.
Okay, Shane knows the election was stolen, but Justin, on the other hand, we're trying to convert him today. So, Justin, what's your expectation going in, buddy?
It's business as usual in this country. There's been plenty of elections stolen. I don't think it's
all right. Okay, so wait, he's actually a believer. Hold on.
Did Biden win? Did Biden win?
Did Biden win?
I think it's all the fucking same. I think Trump and Biden won both the same. Did Biden win? On paper, I guess. Did Trump win? Well, he's still doing business as usual in this country. I don't. Not biased. So
he's
far.
Antifa. He's Antifa.
I just scooted it along a bit so I could see the result.
Can actually do something and we can get some changes made. We've got to get rid of these stupid ballot boxes. I mean, those drop boxes. Yeah. They have to go away. We can't have any more of these machines either taking votes. There's nothing wrong with a paper ballot. It works perfectly. And we have a complete record on who did it.
Absolutely.
So that's my feeling.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay. Have a good night. So tell me your name again.
Carolyn.
Carolyn, what do you think of the 2,000 Mules?
Just eye-opening. It just really, everything that we saw is kind of what we knew in our guts. And I think that we have a long way to go. I personally think we should do phone call-in kind of voting. So you can't cheat because this is what we've seen in there. Well, you know, it's like American Idol. You only get one phone call. Right?
Yeah, but I feel like that could
down.
be rigged. We need, paper ballots, right? And ban ballot harvesting, get rid of the
boxes and all that good stuff.
The
Democrats.
Is there anything that was really eye-opening that you maybe didn't already know?
Just the numbers of how many mules and how many drops and how many times and how many, the time of day. So that was just a number.
All right, so that's just a before and after on the documentary 2,000 Mules. So, and I thought I was sharing the short of that, but anyway. That's
How can you actually keep something secret when you got 2,000 fucking lunatics involved in it? You know, they haven't got the IQ of a tadpole to start with because they're frigging involved with it. You know what I mean?
But they don't care. It doesn't matter that it's not a secret. Trump can't seek remedy in the through the voting system, through the Justice Departments, through the secretaries of state, and he can't get remedy in the courts. So they don't really care that people know. They're in there. It's taken 18 months to get this far. It's the same as if in the United States, if somebody commits just a normal crime, it's usually a 4-year investigation before it gets to court. So, like the work of Durham that he's done over the past couple of years has been at lightning speed because he's got a massive amount of indictments coming, and it's like, and really, he's worked super fast because that's the time frame, and especially when you're dealing with high level criminals as well, because you have to make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, because they'll find some technicality to get off on.
They always seem to. You're on mute, Carl. Carl, you're on mute.
There you go.
There you go.
I turned me down so I could turn my speaker up and hear what they were saying. I apologise. I found that 2,000 Mules trailer. If you want me to share it, the detail that Dinesh D'Souza has gone into with this is absolutely staggering. He has all the mobile phone data. He has all the so he's geo-tracked every one of those mules, essentially, is what I'm saying, and then he has been able to get video camera footage from stores and shop fronts and traffic cameras and everything, and link that together with that data. But anyway, can you guys see this trailer thing? I'll hit play.
Yeah, you control it now, yeah.
All right. Well, it'll probably play an ad first because I don't have that kind of thing. So we'll pad for 4 seconds while it does all its little business and tries to sell us something we don't need.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Let me say it again.
The 2020 election was the most secure
election in American history.
me begin by asking a very simple question. Do we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election? I think millions of Americans know something went wrong, and they have little pieces, and no one's really put it together.
I'm agnostic on this question, and I am awaiting more information.
If I believed the president were a Nazi, I might steal an election.
Bold accusations require bold evidence, and they haven't seen it.
We have been working on something big.
Show me the money.
Can we meet? I've been working with Greg Phillips. He has a deep background in election intelligence.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections in the world. No one has more data than we do. We identified in Atlanta 242 mules that went to an average of 24 drop boxes. But Philadelphia alone, we've identified more than 1,100 mules.
What is a mule?
Person picking up ballots and running them to the drop boxes.
This is not grandma out walking her dog. Bad backgrounds, bad reputations. They are interested in one thing, that's money.
And in no shape, in no way, in no time is that legal.
This is organized crime.
Do you have video evidence?
4 million minutes of surveillance video around the country.
What you're about to see is disturbing.
So this is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't we all vote at 1 o'clock in the morning?
On one night, this person, this mule, went across 6 counties to 27 different drop boxes.
I call it the Mexican mafia, seriously, because they work like that.
This is jaw-dropping. What you showed is frightening.
It's just sickening to me.
Now we come to the most important question of all. Was the magnitude of vote trafficking enough to tip the balance in the 2020 presidential election?
It's not a leap to say this would have made a difference.
They have ruined Election Day in the United States of America. That's provable. And that's enough for me to fight the left with every fiber in my body.
Without free and fair elections, we are not a democracy. We are a criminal cartel masquerading as a democracy.
2,000 mules. In select theaters, May 2nd and 4th.
Now,
virtual premiere, May 7th. Stream May 8th, Salem Now or locals.
So that, my friends, I think is a show worth having a bit of a look at. And I've just logged on to Rumble now just to see if it is available still. There is a How to Watch 2,000 Mules video there that Dinesh D'Souza has uploaded. So no doubt that'll give you a way to go and see it. But that is going to tell a huge story. And now that it's out, mainstream media will be interesting to see what's going to happen with that because, there has been trickles coming back out in the likes of, well, not so much CNN, but Fox News have been coming out. There's been some interesting things coming out on morning television and breakfast television in America recently. This might be enough to force the media to have a look at it, or are they just going to ignore this too? Do you think?
I'll just ignore it. But it's what's really interesting is the magnitude of the theft. So apparently there were 50 million more votes than registered voters.
Yep.
Apparently, and also on top of it, that's just the mules. That's not actually the people in the ballot box like we saw.
And that's not the ratio on the Dominion machines changing as also.
That's right. So we had the Dominion machines. Then we had, remember those big cargo planefuls of, or the mail boxes, the mail bags full of Chinese ballots that are already picked for Joe Biden. So like this magnitude of the theft was just so extraordinary. I think that's why it's probably taken 18 months to wade through. I found it it's going to be very difficult with people sending these to their state secretaries demanding that they deregister the 220 vote. I find it very difficult that they would be able to ignore that.
Would you see that there might just be a global announcement, a presidential address from the White House where they see the swearing in of Donald Trump?
I can see that happening. Yeah, I've said since day one that he'll be back, and of course when I come back though, all of my lefty friends will go, "Oh well, he's basically he's usurped it." Like,
Yeah.
oh God, they just never allow you to be right because they forget. Like the thing is that by the time it comes around, it's a couple of years later. By the time your truth comes to pass, it's basically 2 years later. And then they've already forgotten. So I have to. What I'm going to do is go back through Facebook and screen capture all of the arguments that we had.
Yeah. God, I'd be there for hours.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, guys, we might we're gonna have to get this out. So this is just hilarious. We can't even share off this new page, this No Justice, Just Us. They won't let me. This is another page, totally separate, right? And they won't let us share from this to anywhere.
It's been deleted.
So they're hammering me. They're not liking what we're putting out, folks. Obviously, I've known that for a while, but as I said, they've caned me from 25,000 plus down to 6,500 down to 2,500, and now they've just screwed me. So.
Says it's not available.
Well, that's
content's not available. So they've taken this down, or they've taken this off channels already.
Well, I think it's important that we get on to Project Matilda because.
Okay, we also, Cazza, we'll have to get Cazz after this. Stay in the studio. We're gonna have to see if we can light up my Instagram. At least I got 3,500 people there where I could get out to.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to cut it there, guys. So thanks for Carl coming in. Thanks again to Cazza. Yeah. All right, we'll see if we can try and get to the back door of some programs, folks, and try and get this out somewhere. But if you see this clip, just do me a favour. Hit the share button. I'll buy you a beer when I see you in Canberra, okay? We need it. Okay, folks. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye, Cazz.
All right, thanks. See ya.